Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a spectacular Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore diver that is a Japanese domestic market limited edition made in 100 pieces in white gold, ceramic, and some rose gold garnishing. This was launched for the 2024 model year, and this watch does come with Audemars Piguet of Japan paperwork to confirm its origin. So Japanese domestic market in white gold with ceramic and rose gold accents. It's a massive watch. As a watch with just a pin buckle and a strap, it is 231.17 grams, which is spectacular. That is over half a pound. And again, it's a strap watch. It's 42 millimeters in diameter. It's 14.4 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip. We're just talking about the lugs. 54 millimeters and then 58.8 if you measure these little plots, the intermediate links from one side to the other. That's a rigid distance across the wrist. At 14.4, this is no longer a modular movement. We're not talking about an old Royal Oak Offshore chronograph. This is not a thick watch, as it has the caliber 4308 inside, which is an integrated automatic AP caliber that allows this rather large watch to sit surprisingly low on the wrist, to the point that it's almost as elegant as the Scubas of the 2000s. And this will actually fit underneath most cuffs, and you'll be surprised with the shirts that can ramp up and over this. I would recommend it for a wrist my size or larger. So my wrist is 16 centimeters circumference. I'm pulling the strap kind of tight. It fits just fine, and the further away you move, the more it looks like a natural match. But if your wrist is any smaller than mine, you're probably going to want to go with a smaller Royal Oak rather than an Offshore. Taking a look at the strap, you can see it's black cherry to match the dial. It's got character lines molded in. This is a latest generation Royal Oak, so we've got these quick release mechanisms on the underside, which are great to use if you have more fingernail than I do. I'll demonstrate how this works. And you see, the problem is I do have to manicure my fingernails for you guys. And so it can be somewhat difficult, almost like trying to pick up a coin when you don't have nails. But the good news is it's very simple. You just squeeze the trigger and this pops right off. Now you can see the strap is brand new, no crimping, no gouging, Audemars Piguet factory strap. Some character lines molded in and sort of a very lightly textured surface, so it's not shiny in any way, which would seem unseemly and unrefined. And the nice thing is, not only do we have the quick release for the strap where it joins the case, we also have a quick release that's built into the buckle, because if the strap is stranded on the buckle, then there's really no point in the quick release. You can't easily swap straps if you need multiple buckles. So you just move this little tab out of the way, and then the bar extends out of its slot. And it's very simple to just put it right back in, and then when closed, it locks secure. The buckle has a combination of media blast, polish, and then satination. Taking a look at the case, it too has polish and satination. A fascinating thing here, if you look at the buckle, you'll see that it is made of white gold, but it's a more muted white gold. It's white gold without rhodium plate, whereas when you get to the case, oh my gosh, blindingly white, like platinum. This is rhodium plated white gold, and this is AP's house style. When they do white gold, they do it with rhodium. Most other brands today use what's called gray gold. It looks like this. It's a non-plated white gold. AP wanted its white gold to look spectacular, and especially in juxtaposition to the black ceramic elements, it certainly does. We have the hand-finished bevel that expands over the lug hoods. We have that at all four corners of the watch. The finishing you get on both ceramic and gold is a big highlight of Royal Oaks and Offshores. You can see we've got little details like the beveling on the crown guard structure. Outer face of the crown shoulder and ceramic is polished. The flanks are satinated. The top of the bezel is brushed. The flanks of the bezel are brushed and polished. We have the steel bezel bolts, because on an Offshore, they're steel. You can see they're recessed below the plane of the bezel. This is all ceramic, so very scratch resistant. It acts sort of as a heat shield for the watch, because contact is more likely to hit the bezel than the rest. Taking a look, we have a hexagonal crown shoulder to match the bolts, and we have another one right here. Now this one is used to operate the internal ratcheting dive bezel. So if you do want to set that relative to the minute hand, so you've got a dive timer, I actually find a dive bezel preferable to a chronograph. Easier to use, cheaper to service down the line, and I like having a 0 to 60 full 60-minute scale, which most chronographs simply don't have. Taking a look at the lume of this dial, you can see it is extensively luminescent, not just all three hands, including the seconds hand, so you know your dive timer is running, but we've also got a fully luminescent bezel that includes a mark every 5 minutes. Incredibly useful, and if you're going to use this as your backup dive timer, that takes a lot of guessing and estimation out of the equation. We have the Mega Tapisserie. It is the biggest hobnail dial, and you can see here that it is lacquered. And it's lacquered with a black cherry gradient fade. We have rose gold AP logo, hands, and indices. And just to be clear, we do have a date hiding in here. 300-meter dive depth. And you see AP is doing things right. Let me show you why. Okay, so take a look at this now. That 5 and that 5, it's the same 5. Not everyone gets that right. So we've got the quick set, we've got the hacking. Turn it all over. Caliber 4408. Automatic winding, ceramic ball bearings for higher efficiency, 4 Hz beat rate, 60-hour power reserve, shock resistant with a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance. It's a 32mm movement, so quite large, fitting this case back nicely. The full balance bridge and the free sprung balance making for great shock resistance, and the Gyromax style free sprung balance also allowing for very precise adjustments. And it is an Audemars Piguet manufacturer movement, credibly decorated, though mostly by machines. It's what you get in this price point these days, as even Patek Philippe Lange and Vacheron use a lot of automated fabrication on their movements. What's important, though, is that technically they meet the expectations and honor the reputations of these Holy Trinity brands, and the closer you get, the more you realize that they are just as well detailed. Engine turning, stripes, beveling, satinated wheels, polished screws, a good-looking movement with solarization on the ball bearing at center. If you love this watch, this is a fun way to dive at the highest level of luxury, and a Japanese domestic market limited edition, it is unlikely to be seen anywhere else in the world. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.